Effects of poverty on individuals. We can see effects of poverty on individuals in our society. Poverty is a major problem in the world. It can cause many other problems, like hunger and homelessness. These can lead to death from diseases or starvation. Being poor can affect almost every aspect of one's life. Poverty is a sustained condition of shortage in which a person or community lacks the resources, income, or opportunities to meet basic human needs for food, health care, education and/or a safe environment. Effects of poverty on individuals in developing countries. They were originally published on November 3, 2010. For more than 5,000 years, the world has struggled to eradicate poverty in developing countries. This is an important problem that puts a strain on governments and the people they represent. The effects of poverty on individuals include extreme malnutrition, lack of education and employment opportunities, inability to pay medical bills, crime and violence in slums, risky behaviors such as unsafe sex and drug use because of a lack of better options, homelessness, impaired health, and shorter lifespans. Effects of poverty on individuals in developed countries. In developed countries such as the United States, the effects of poverty on individuals and society are severe. Poverty in these countries leads to increased crime rates, increased childhood mortality, as well as health factors like malnutrition and increased infant mortality. Because of this, the U.S. government established the Office of Management and Budget's statistical definition of poverty in its own 1995 legislation, proposing the recommitment to ending poverty, empowering the nation's poor. This standard is that a person or family is in poverty if they are unable to afford basic housing, food, and clothing while sustaining some minimum level of self-respect. Effects of poverty on individuals in rural areas. Poverty is a significant human impact on the world. In rural areas, people live in poverty due to a lack of money for education and medical care. Poverty and subsequent disparity in opportunities and resources may weaken the economic capabilities of individuals and their communities. Individuals living in rural areas are more likely to seek employment opportunities in industrial centers locally or abroad. This brain drain has become a problem for these local economies as most of these individuals from rural areas do not return to contribute to their local communities. Effects of poverty on individuals in urban areas. There are numerous effects of poverty on individuals and families. Most people associate urban poverty with unemployment, but there are a host of other causes as well. Poverty is a reality for many people and families across the United States and the world. Here are descriptive statistics on poor people in urban areas and information on how poverty affects our society. Urban poverty can arise because of a lack of education and training, lack of employment opportunities and transportation, transitions from middle to lower class, marginalization, discrimination against minorities and gender discrimination. The main cause why people living in urban areas experience poverty is due to the lack of employment opportunities. Access to education and training is also limited to people living in these areas. In addition, costs of health care, food, and other basic needs are incredibly high compared to other places around the world, so they struggle to purchase some of their daily needs. Effects of poverty on individuals in America. Learn the causes of poverty while encouraging solutions to poverty. The causes of poverty are not just a statement but a narrative that affects millions of women and men in America. To end this discussion, you must begin by addressing what causes these effects for people in America and globally. According to the Institute for Research on Poverty at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, poverty is a collection of conditions including low income, lack of opportunity, isolation from services and social support networks, and lack of power over one's own life. Poverty is a life-threatening condition for those who are affected by it. Poverty in America has grown from 1 out of 6 people to 1 out of 5. In addition to physical disease and illness, poverty also causes dramatic emotional and mental stress as well. These conditions may lead to financial frustration, low self-esteem, and depression. Effects of poverty on individuals in India. India is one of the world's most highly populated countries, and it continues to suffer from issues of poverty. In fact, 22% in India are considered poor. This has significant effects on India as a nation. Poverty in India has created a cycle that perpetuates itself and prevents economic improvement for those at the bottom of the social ladder. Poverty is a critical issue in India. Poverty is being forced to live on less than what is required to sustain the body and soul together. Poverty can lead to hunger and malnutrition, general poor health, living in high-risk environments and social discrimination. Effects of poverty on individuals in China. Perhaps the most prominent cause of poverty in China is nutrition. The majority of the Chinese population does not have enough food. They may have enough rice to eat per day, but by the time one factor in protein and other nutrients from various sources, they are undernourished. Poor nutrition leads to additional health problems, such as the recurring back pains that I observed on my trip. Poverty has many different effects on people in China. The article The Causes of Poverty identifies 5 categories that determine the major areas of effects. This list is not complete, and more information has been added to provide a more clear picture.